can't wait to meet the mayor, Mr. Little.
Me too. So, what exactly does the mayor do?
That's a good question, Raffy. Take a look around. Who do you see?
I see firefighters.
Firefighters are important, aren't they? Not only do they put out fires, they keep us safe in other ways, too. Who else do you see?
I see a police officer.
Aren't we glad that we have police to protect everyone, Ted?
I see Mr. Baba fixing the street.
Keeping the streets and sidewalks repaired is important work, too. That way they're safe to drive and walk on.
I see a teacher, Mr. Little. You help kids learn.
That's true, Roxy. And everyone we've mentioned, including me, all work to help everyone in our community. When we help others, we call that providing a service. All this service makes our town a nice place to live. Hello, Mr. Grande. Hello, Mr. Barkley. Imagine if Mr. Grande and Mr. Barkley didn't help us by collecting our garbage and recyclables.
We wouldn't want that. Our town would become very stinky after a while.
So, to answer your question, Raffy, a mayor is the leader of a town or city who works with other community leaders to make sure that everyone who lives there gets the services they need.
That's a lot to do.
Mayors also work with other town or city leaders to make sure that we have parks and places to play, and that we have electricity and clean water in our homes.
Wow, being a mayor is a big job.
Very. So, are you ready to meet her? Students, this is Mayor Edwards.
Hello, Mayor Edwards.
Hello, boys and girls. Would anyone like to ask me a question?
Go ahead, Lacey.
How did you become mayor? Did you win a contest or something?
Well, kind of, Lacey. Every few years, our town has what's called an election. That's a time when grown-ups get to vote for who they want to be their leaders. Because I got the most votes, I got the job.
Are you in charge of the whole wide world?
No, that job would be too big for me, or anyone. I'm the mayor of this town only. I work with other leaders, like our state governor, to help make sure we all have the services we need.
The state governor?
Just like I serve and help make decisions and rules for the people of this town, our governor does the same for everyone who lives in our state. Every state, all 50 of them, has one governor. And just like mayors, governors are chosen by votes. In most states, that happens every 4 years.
The governor's job sounds like a lot of work, too.
It is. Governors work with other state leaders to make their states a good place to live, with good schools for children and good jobs for grown-ups. They make sure that the highways, bridges, and tunnels all over the state are safe. They also decide how the state should spend its money. Now that you know what mayors and governors do, who wants to be one when they grow up?
Oh, me!
Okay, Ted. How about you? If you were the mayor of our town, how would you serve us?
The first thing I would serve is baked apple pie. It's my favorite.
It's my favorite, too.
You definitely get my vote, Ted.
Mine, too,
But we don't have to wait until Ted is old enough to be mayor. Why don't you all have lunch with me and we can share some baked apple pie for dessert?
Yay!
Sounds like I'm ready for some apple pie.
Great idea.
Then let's go.
Enjoy your baked apple pie!
Click on the next activity.
Mr. Little's leadership lesson. All right, class. I'm going to ask you some questions about leaders. Then we'll go on a field trip to our state capital.
Play!
I make sure that the trash collectors in our city pick up the garbage and recycling. Am I the mayor, the governor, or the president? You got it. Mayor. I help make sure that the state has good schools. Am I the mayor, the governor, or the president? Nice try. I know you can do it. You got it, Governor. I make sure there are national parks people can visit all over our country. Am I the mayor, the governor, or the president? Good try. You got it, President. I help decide how our state spends money. Am I the mayor, the governor, or the president? Nice try. I know you can do it. You got it, Governor. I help make laws for our country. Am I the mayor, the governor, or the president? You got it, President. I work with the leaders of other countries. Am I the mayor, the governor, or the president? Nice try. Good try. You got it, President. I make sure our community has firefighters and police officers to keep people safe. Am I the mayor, the governor, or the president? You got it, Mayor. Wonderful.
Click on the next activity.
Calvin Coolidge. John Calvin Coolidge was born about 150 years ago on the 4th of July in 1872. He grew up in the town of Plymouth Notch, Vermont. His father was a farmer and ran a small shop in town. Calvin helped his father both on the farm and in the store. As a young man, Calvin went to college. He made many friends and won prizes for his schoolwork. After college, he continued his studies and became a lawyer. A lawyer is a person who understands laws very well and uses what he or she knows to try to help people. Calvin wanted to help his community. When he was 26 years old, he became a member of the City Council in Northampton, Massachusetts. A city council is a group of people who make the laws for a city. Many years later, Calvin Coolidge was elected governor of Massachusetts. A governor is the leader of a state. Calvin Coolidge was thrifty. He wanted his state to spend money carefully and not waste it. 2 years later, Calvin Coolidge was elected Vice President of the United States when Warren G. Harding was elected President. It is the Vice President's job to help the President. If the President can't do his or her job anymore, the Vice President takes over. When President Harding died, Calvin Coolidge took over and became the President of the United States. As president, Calvin Coolidge tried to help companies in the United States be successful and make money. He believed that if companies were successful, they would be able to give more people good jobs. People remember Calvin Coolidge for being an honest, hard-working man who did his best to help the people in his community, his state, and his country.
Click on the next activity. Calvin Coolidge became president. Coolidge was Calvin Coolidge's life. Cutout puzzle. Click on the next activity.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the 32nd President of the United States. When he was president, he helped people in many important ways. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was born in the state of New York almost 150 years ago. As a child, Franklin didn't study at a school. Instead, teachers came to his house to help him learn. Franklin went to college at Harvard University, where he played football and wrote for the school newspaper. After college, Franklin Delano Roosevelt had many different jobs. First, he was a lawyer, but then he decided he wanted to work in the government. He became a state senator and helped make laws for the state of New York. Then, Franklin helped lead the United States Navy, which uses ships to protect the country. One summer, Franklin Delano Roosevelt got an illness called polio that made his legs very weak. He needed a cane to walk. After a while, he had to use a wheelchair. But that didn't stop him from continuing to do important things. He became governor of the state of New York and later, President of the United States. At the time that Franklin Delano Roosevelt became president, there weren't enough jobs for everyone. People without jobs couldn't earn money to buy food or pay for places to live. President Roosevelt worked hard to make it easier for people to find work so they could take care of their families. While Franklin Delano Roosevelt was president, the United States was in a big war. President Roosevelt met many times with leaders from other countries that were on the same side as the United States. The leaders worked together to win the war. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the only person to be elected president 4 times. He is remembered for never letting big challenges stop him from being a great leader. There is a memorial to President Roosevelt in Washington, D.C. It is the only memorial to a president that includes a statue of a pet. Next to the statue of President Roosevelt, you can see his Scottish Terrier, Thala, who was almost always by his side.
Click on the next Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected president. Franklin D. Roosevelt's life. Click on the next activity. 1. Done. Click on the next activity. Voting is every person's right and responsibility. Click on the next activity.
Count the votes. We're having a class election. Help us make a bar graph to show everyone's votes. Fill in the bars to show how many votes each student received. Drag the correct amount to the bar graph, then select Done. This bar is correct. This bar is just right. This bar is just right. This bar is correct. Awesome job! Which students had the same number of votes? Select both of them. Nice going! Which student had 2 more votes than Ted? Incredible! Which student is our new class president? Awesome! Congratulations, President Roxy! Awesome!
Click on the next activity.
Vote for me. It's Monday morning, and Mr. Little has big news for his class. This week, we will choose a class president, he says. A class president? What's that? Raffi asks. A class president is a leader, Mr. Little says. Our class president will work to make our school better. A lot of hands go up in the air. I'll do it, Mr. Little, Roxy says. No, pick me, Raffi says. Mr. Little laughs. It doesn't work that way. The class chooses the president, he says. Each of you gets 1 vote. The student who gets the most votes will be the class president. Mr. Little tells the class that they will vote on Friday. A class president needs to be a good leader, says Mr. Little. What do you think a good leader does? A good leader works hard to make the world a better place, Ted says. A good leader has good ideas, Kara says. A good leader listens to others, Roxy says. That's right, Mr. Little says. A good leader does all of these things. At lunch, Roxy talks to some of her friends. What can we do to make our school better, she asks. I think some new books in the library would help. Lacey wants the school to have more recycling bins. Ted wants more balls for the playground. Kara wants to start a garden at school. Roxy listens and takes notes. Raffi has an idea too. He thinks his idea will get his classmates to vote for him. At home, the twins get out markers, paper, and glue. They make posters to hang at school. Roxy writes, "Roxy for President. I have a lot of good ideas" on her poster. Raffi writes, "Raffi for President. I have one idea. but it's really good on his poster. At school the next day, Roxy hangs her poster in the classroom. She says hello to her classmates when they come in. She asks them for more ideas and takes more notes. Raffi hangs his poster in the classroom too. If I'm class president, there will be cake at recess every day, he tells everyone. On Friday, Mr. Little tells the class that Raffi and Roxy will give speeches. Then, the class will vote to choose who will be the class president. Roxy walks to the front of the class. I want to be class president, Roxy says. I want to get more recycling bins for the lunchroom. I want to get more balls for the playground. I want to start a garden at school. Vote for me, and I'll do my best to make our school a better place. Then Raffi stands up. I have just one thing to say to you. Cake, he says, and sits back down. Okay, class, Mr. Little says. It's time to vote. The children write down names on pieces of paper. One by one, they put the papers in the box. Mr. Little counts the votes. Roxy is our new class president, Mr. Little says. The class cheers. When can we get the recycling bins? Asks Lacey. When can we get the new balls? Asks Ted. When can we plant the garden? Asks Kara. First, we need to raise money for those things, Roxy says. How will we raise money? Asks Lacey. Roxy doesn't know. She doesn't say anything, but Raffi has something to say. We can raise money with cake, he says. We'll have a bake sale. Raffi, I am making you the class vice president, says Roxy with a big smile. The class cheers again.
Click on the next activity. Click on the next activity.